now appearing in the building, up in every ear hole from 80-year-olds to the children. You're here to hear about the heroes and the villains, and save yourself some dollars, yen, and euros from the zeros to the millions. This is a lot of class packed into one podcast. They probably ought to have laws passed, but it's too late to stop the onslaught. Raw blast of compacted, bombastic, five-alarm sass. They're talking AVX, way back to Secret Invasion. They're talking flying up high in the sky, down to the feet on the pavement. They're reading the pages of every single one of the summer events. So other than Venice, you want to be coming to them when you want the Avengers. They're up inside of your environment with flying iron fists, giant-sized Goliaths, and the tiniest super scientists. Try denying it, but I insist. There's other podcasts, but this is Earth's mightiest. EMP, literally MP3 TNT. Young, new, mighty, and secretly. Try denying it, but I insist. There's other podcasts, but this is Earth's mightiest. EMP, literally MP3 TNT. Young, new, mighty, and secretly. Try denying it, but I insist. There's other podcasts, but this is Earth's mightiest.
All right, well, welcome to EMBS.
Yeah.
Episode 17, where we shoot the breeze for about an hour. We are recording this episode on June 3rd, 2021. To get these episodes as they come out, consider supporting us on Patreon, patreon.com/EMPcast. And yeah, everybody else will get it 1 month later. So, why hold out? Come join the fun early. And, subscribe if you can and help out the show. There's goodies involved too for people, so it ain't all for
Happy Pride Month.
Yes, happy Pride Month.
Everybody out there, I hope you all know how Patreon works. You can give $1 a month. You can give $1 a year. We'd prefer at least a couple a year if possible. But just a little something just shows. I mean, in this day and age, we all know how it is. You watch YouTube. At least we don't yell at you guys to be pushing bells and subscribe and stuff. So,
we do
throw
have
some quarters in the hat.
By the way, we get like 2 or 3 views where I post. I pretty much just post our episodes on the YouTubes. We have 5 whole subscribers on there.
Yay!
Huh.
Well, let's see. Me, you, Bobby, that's 3.
Shit, I don't even know if I am subscribed. I'm going to do it right now, though. You know what? I'm curious. What do you like? I'll tell you what, guys, and we'll just I'll get right into it. My first thing I'm just going to say is YouTube. For me, like, YouTube is something that I never, I just like all, up until this year, I really kind of just was, skirted around it. It was like, I don't know, that seems kind of sketchy. And now I just like discovered this whole new world. There's so much stuff on YouTube. And I don't know. I wonder if people if we got folks who would like to see some YouTube videos. I'd do some videos. I bet you'd want to do some videos,
So, Bobby, what exactly have you been doing for like the last year and 1 month while you were locked
That's
up
what
in
I
your
mean.
house?
That's what I mean. This last year, before that, though, I never messed with YouTube at all. Ever. Literally ever. You asking what I've been watching?
Sure. Or
This year?
reading, or, anything. What you been up to?
For a year? No, actually, let's see. What it was on the tip of my tip. I don't actually want to go first. I got to think about it.
Right,
I got some good
what
ones.
you
You
got?
just got to come back to me.
What was that?
So what you got?
Me? I didn't really since last EMBS episode. I watched Castlevania. That's the first thing that come to mind. The newest season.
Fantastic show.
Yeah. Oh, so good, so good.
True that.
The fights were amazing, and And like, I wish we got like, like everyone's all, the memes and the internets are all about Lady D from Resident Evil,
Mm-hmm.
but the true the true giant vampire lady is Striga.
Oh yes.
Oh, right. The two girls that are
Yeah,
the women that like
Striga
run.
is the true vampire mommy.
The one that
And,
wears
like,
the armor,
yeah,
day armor.
the day armor. Oh my
That was
god,
pretty sick.
so badass. And but yeah, and then like, yeah, the fight, even the fights at the end with Sypha and like, they're just so
when,
great.
When the Trinity came back together,
Right.
the way that they were throwing down and bouncing off each other, whoever choreographed that stuff, they did it perfectly. Perfectly. It was just so good. It was ridiculous. Seriously ridiculous how good it was. The fighting and the trading off, and it was fantastic. Not to steal your thunder. Go ahead.
Who, me?
No, yeah.
No, that's. I mean, there wasn't really much else to say.
I like that. Like as animes go, there's, how could I say this? Like, even though anime in a way it sort of like speaks to this idea that cartoons can be for adults, they're still not really very often about adults. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought that, I think like a lot of the dialogue, the back and forth between Treffy and his and
Alucard.
well, yeah, him too, but and his special lady friend there. He's just trying to help her conceive. What's her name there? The wizard, the element girl.
Yeah, the third, the part of the Trinity. I forgot her name too.
How can I forget her
Sypha?
name?
Sypha. There you go.
Thank you. It's just good. Like there's a lot of, I thought there was pretty good development between them. Alucard is a pretty like sympathetic character. And yeah, I mean, like, I guess like I say, like, not a lot of anime that is about adults. Obviously, I immediately think of like Bebop.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I just feel like a lot of ways, like, you're still out. Most anime takes place in high school, and it was kind of cool to. It's different. It's a different use of the medium, I feel like. So I like that aspect. Good stuff. I got one.
Go ahead.
Shoot, I feel like I'm gonna get the the flip flop award on this, because I think if we go back, I probably was like, this shit is bananas, and not in a good way. But JoJo's is just like totally like become my favorite shit.
Before you get into it, my son has bugged me so much to watch JoJo that I actually like made a pact with him. While I watch JoJo, he has to read comics that I give him.
I like it.
And I gotta say, I'm coming around too. But I started from the very, very beginning of the news shows.
Yeah.
So I'm easing into it, and it's yes, I agree. I'm getting sucked into it. It's getting better as I go. Continue.
Did you watch, like, so have you basically watched what's on Netflix?
Yes, I think I'm with the grandson now. So I'm where they're fighting the what's it called, men.
Like in Egypt?
The three what's it called just got released. AC/DC, those
Oh.
three stone dudes. Am I ahead of you?
No, you're not actually.
Okay. That's exactly what I meant.
Yeah, so it's interesting because the first season of JoJo's like which is like ostensibly lays the groundwork for everything else.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. I mean, the first season's really hard to get with. Like, it does not sit the same way. It doesn't. It just doesn't. I'm not even really sure how to describe it because it's like a lot of the same kind of goofy, expository like dialogue stuff where they're explaining how they basically Deus Ex Machina everything as they go. But I don't know, there's something about the way they also don't use the same they have different power set that the like when it's Dio versus the original Joestar, I can't even remember his name. I guess it's the grandfather in the later seasons. They use their power set is just called Hamon, and there is no stands, right? Like
correct.
And that was the I don't know. Somehow when they changed to the stands, that just I don't know why, but that made it like click for me a lot more.
And from what Johnny's telling me, you need the beginning to really get and enjoy once they finally get down to the stands and stuff. So
I guess I can see how that sort of makes sense, but I'm not at the same time. There's not a whole lot of like, the jump from the Hamon power to like having stands doesn't actually make a lot of sense. It's just like, it just lays groundwork for this sort of like epic ongoing struggle. I think you have to have that battle between them. It's just like, I think it gets a lot smarter as it moves on. Maybe it's just, there's that thing that happens when a show is, what's that word? It's collective, like over time, you get jokes from season 1 that come back in season 3 and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Cumulative, I suppose. That's definitely a big part of what makes JoJo's work. And it's goofy as heck, but it just, I don't know. It's quite likable. I'm even like, I think I'm significantly ahead of you. Like, Joestar's still in the picture, but they just put, I think, season 3 up on Netflix, and I'm like pretty almost through it already. So,
is it on Hulu or Netflix or both?
It's on Netflix, dubbed. I think on Hulu it might not be dubbed. All right. Or something like that. But if you're down for no dubbing.
I usually watch this stuff late at night, so I need it dubbed so I can kind of stay awake. I hear that
you're preaching to the choir, brother.
Well, one thing I do hear a lot about from Gianni is the fact that there's a lot of characters and moves are based off of music from like American music. So, and they don't have the rights for some of it, so they'll change it for the English version, but in the original Japanese, it's there. So, I will say though,
interesting.
The ending music has been really freaking good on the season I'm on. I mean, the music is fantastic in that show so far. In the English version.
I remember it ending. I remember watching a random episode and of course not getting it because it was like completely out of context. But I remember seeing the end credits and they were playing Jodeci.
Yep.
I want to freak you.
Yep.
It's super weird. Like a lot of it is like super deep cut, like classic rock.
Yeah. Walk Like Egyptian. The first 2 seasons. What's the is it Car? Is it by Car or somebody? Shit. What was it called?
The ending sequence, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like Rush, but it's not even Rush. I'll look it up. It's not the Cars. There's a couple tracks. The end sequence usually has something like really, really good that almost like don't even. Sometimes you're like, this is so lame. I would never put it on, and then you actually sit and have to like shut off the the Netflix like episode skip ahead thing because you want to listen to the song.
Exactly.
Actually,
It's Roundabout by Yes.
Yes. I do get Yes and Rush confused sometimes,
But
although they're both prog rock bands.
That song really grew on me as I watched the series. Like, I was more than happy to let the credits roll. And the credits usually tell a story, too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. And it's true that almost every character introduced, through at least through season 2 when they're kind of fighting across the globe, Joestar and what's the dude with the silver chariot? I forget.
I may not be that far to know.
Who are the characters that are rolling together where you're watching it?
Oh God, it's Joseph, which is a grandson.
Yep.
The grandson of the dude that helped his grandfather. The pretty boy who blows the bubbles. I can't remember his name. He has like a bubble attack.
The Speedwagon Foundation.
Speedwagon is still around, but he's an old man now.
Right. Because REO Speedwagon.
But yeah, it's just them three right now. I know that. No,
Okay.
actually, no. I just met one of the old masters and his little crew just came.
I honestly can't. I can't think of where exactly you're at, but at some point, like it becomes Joseph, the son with the forwards baseball cap, but it's not a baseball cap, but you know what I mean. He's got like and then there's two guys that are supposed to be his age, like they're both. One of them's definitely a high school student, supposedly, even though they look like WWF wrestlers. He's got pink hair. And then there's another guy that's like basically looks like Guile.
Is that the season with
Street
the dog?
Fighter. Yeah.
Okay, I've seen a little bit of that.
Oh, you're not to that season yet?
Well, again, my two kids were watching it. I was just kind of around, so I'd see things.
Gotcha.
Now I'm starting from the beginning with this little deal that we made. So, yeah.
That's where, I mean, like, that's when it started to grow on me, definitely. And then it just like kind of continues from there. It's kind of, it's pretty undeniable. It's just like very entertaining, and I don't know. It's such a bizarre adventure.
It actually lives up to the damn name.
It really lives up to the damn name.
I remember when friend of the show, or we were at a convention and someone asked me to make a Joestar minion. And then like our buddy Blob guy, our buddy Bob Frank, who was a big JoJo's guy.
Oh, that's right.
He was telling me, he was just like informing me. He was just like, the hat is also hair. Like, what? He's like, they're one and the same. I'm like, what does that mean? It's like, what?
The hat is also hair.
Yeah.
I guess I never really thought about that, but it's very true.
No, because if you look at pictures, like the front part is hat. Right?
Literally, the lines like coincide.
Yeah, and like it literally just blends into hair. And it's not like, and then you're just like, and you're trying to figure it out. It's like, oh, so it's like a visor. No, like the entire hat is also hair. You're just like, somebody somebody showed pictures of him taking off the hat too, and it's hair.
Like I'm picturing what you're saying, Viet, and like it's actually kind of like as I'm even thinking about it, I'm realizing, oh my god, it's even worse. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make sense. Yeah. You do think you're right that it's a visor and that there's hair poking out the top, but that's not it.
Because it's not, because the hat is also like I'm trying to tell you,
it's also like ducktail in the back.
Like it just completely, and there's no like start to finish where like the hat and the hair meet. It just becomes hair. I can't explain it. But just look up Jojo hat, in Google image, and that's what it is.
If the thing is, if you start Googling JoJo's, it gets weird very fast, and you almost like people start saying like, there's like very high concept media out there that has JoJo's references, and you're like, that can't be true.
It's definitely something you have to ease your way into. You really can't jump into the deep end of it, as you just ridiculous.
And we've talked about it at length. Where I was just like, I was in a hotel once, and I was watching Adult Swim, and I just watched a JoJo episode, and I'm just like, what?
I mean, it took me over a year.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the hat is hair. Oh my god. I just like started doing the episode. And like the clothes, I mean, like not only is the hat hair, but he's got a chain that would make Mr. T blush, like just kind of like hanging from his collar.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. All right. That's enough. That's enough.
Ahead,
dedicated.
All right. So, I've watched like the first 4 episodes of Marvel's M.O.D.O.K. It is on Hulu, and basically
rated MA.
It's it's basically the Marvel version of Robot Chicken.
Yeah.
Like there's toys, they're models and toys that they use and animate to make the series. It's lacking in some areas. I don't really have to like watch it all the time. I'm not dying to watch it, but every once in a while, man, they'll throw out some really good one-liners that'll just make you laugh, or just some really good comedy. I think it could be better. Maybe it gets better as we go.
Wait, I want to pause you right there. Is it like really good comedy in general, or would you say it's like a really good? It's like a good Marvel dive. Like it's like a, you know what I mean? Like it's a payoff for like being a Marvel zombie.
No, there's a little payoff for being a Marvel zombie because there's certain characters that you kind of know, but no, they put their own spin on it. So maybe not as much as you would like, because like Super Adaptoid is there, and he's just this flaming manservant.
Yeah,
that has some really funny things to say from time to time. So a little bit. There's minor stuff you get from knowing the source material, but overall, it's just some ridiculous comedy, adult comedy at that. And there's some plenty of blood and guts too, and craziness. But
yeah, I would say it's more of a background watch, like background TV watch.
Yeah, like I mean, Corin, you finish, but like I'm with you so far.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely a background watch, but it does have its moments where you just have to turn your head and say, "What the fuck," and just laugh your ass off with the craziness that they'll do or say.
Yeah, the fact that his daughter looks it's like a giant head
like him. Yeah, he has his family. He has a wife and 2 kids. The daughter looks like him. The son's just regular, and just the
oh right, he like goes home, right? Like
the crazy shit that happens with that family and the hilariousness. Melissa even has her own little acronym, and I forgot what it was, but I had to like rewind it like twice to listen to what her acronym was. So there are some real golden gems sometimes that they drop, but it doesn't come often enough for my liking.
Yeah, I haven't finished it. I watched Yeah, like 4 or 5 episodes.
Yeah, and you can stop and not even miss it. And that's the thing. That's why I say it is lacking something somewhere.
Right.
See, I had this thought that if I was, like a teenager who, didn't do the Adult Swim thing and hadn't really seen Robot Chicken, I might think it's just hilarious on its own merits, right? Because part of what's a little bit, I think, like kind of like dials you down just as from jump is it does feel like a repeat. It feels like we've been here before, which is not fair because it like M.O.D.O.K's on screen. This should be really kind of kick ass. Instead, it feels sort of like a little bit like a retread or a reboot from the start. That was my kind of like my takeaway. I kind of put it on and watched. I think I watched 2, and the third one started, and I had to change it. I just was.
Yeah,
wasn't
it makes
doing
it.
for
Yeah,
me.
maybe. Yeah, I guess what you're saying is like maybe it wasn't. It's not for us, right? It's for.
I think
it's for the person
no, yeah.
in their late teens and 20s that haven't watched Robot Chicken before.
Well, right, exactly. Like I think, yeah, like they're definite. I mean, first of all, the fact Patton Oswalt's in it, I was surprised I couldn't find Seth Green's name in the credits. You know what I mean? Like,
I thought he was.
Yeah, he was involved.
He's
is?
a producer. I think he's a
Oh, my
producer or
bad.
something.
Well, that's good because I was gonna say they owe him a fucking movie check. Yeah. Well, then, yeah. That I think that's exactly right. It's sort of not for us. It's like they recognize they had something good. They're, you know what I mean. People do reboots in the movies every 3 years at this point. Why can't they reboot a television show? After 10 years, it's probably been like since Robot Chicken started. Who knows? I've actually got Robot Chicken Volume 1 DVDs on my shelf. Let's find out when it's from.
But I mean, it
Is
is
Robot
also.
Chicken still a thing?
I'm pretty certain it's over. I know they drop specials from time to time, but I thought it was done and over with. I will say that this was the last of Marvel TV, or I don't remember what they called it, but the portion of Marvel that Jeff Loeb was in charge of, different from Marvel Studios. So this was like their last project, and I think it was way too far into development for them to quit.
This was Jeff Lowe going, "Fuck you, Marvel."
It just made sense. It just made sense for them to go ahead and finish it and release it because they were so far along. So
Season 1 was
2006.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just 14 years old.
Yeah.
I think they. Yeah, that's literally a teenager's worth since it, right? Mm-hmm. So, you can't blame them for going back kind of to the well on it. I'm sure there's some people who think it's like hilarious, and it is kind like, yeah, I can see how it is, and I laughed a couple of times, but part of what makes Robot Chicken work too is the fact that it keeps cycling through. It's not the same bit throughout. You know what I mean? Like it's wasn't catching me, but I imagine that there's a part of what's like sort of to go back to that question that I had about the payoff for being a Marvel zombie. I've been kind of thinking about this a lot, how there's a lot of this there's a lot of content period out there in the world right now that I think people like us just get so much more out of than like really like 95% of the population. You know what I mean? Like, because we have all, what cracks me, and I'll go back to the YouTube thing again, cracks me up how many just videos there are about like, it's like so-and-so explained, like, Tony Stark's daughter explained, like some new character that's not that interesting explained is who's U.S. agent, who's, you know what I mean? Like every time something new comes out, there's like this whole rush to put out content to like catch people up to speed and stuff. And I just sit there shaking my head going, should have studied, guys. Should have studied. Should have done your homework. But that's, which is cool. It's kind of cool. I guess like I was thinking a little bit about Winter Soldier and Captain America and Winter Soldier again. For some reason, they just put a couple new videos out about that. I guess I don't know if it was mentioned in one of the new clips or something, but you know, the whole thing having U.S. agent, like if you don't really know who that character is, that probably feels pretty forced and like I don't know. There's in some ways like I can see how that series would come off as meandering. There wasn't really much of a, despite the fact that the Flag Smashers were supposed to be the main sort of foil, I guess. There wasn't really a central villain, and it, like each episode had its moments, but I think you could get lost easily if you don't have the background. There's so much to the Marvel universe.
I don't know how true this is, but I did read somewhere that they did cut certain things out of the show just because of events.
Because
like
it was just too much.
Well, no, there was supposed to be like a virus involved as well.
Yeah.
Which is kind of how the I forgot her name, the main Flag Smashers guardian, how she died. So I know there were certain elements they had to cut and change around because COVID.
Sure. That seems more than possible, and I can see how that might have impacted the cohesive feeling of the series. I guess I'm sort of like coming around to asking now that we're like a few weeks out from that show, what did you guys think of it? Like, I don't know. At the time I was really feeling it. Like I really liked having more Bucky and Sam, because like those are, of the remaining MCU characters, those are a couple of my favorites. But I don't know. Like I'm not sure where it leaves them. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I liked it.
I love how it, like, I felt like deja vu with 2015, but just like on a larger scale, right?
With
like
the fact of having Sam,
having Falcon, Captain America, like we're the same people, the same outrage like came from that, and I'm just like, I was like, I feel like we've done this already.
I mean, I know that stuff happens, but that's like there's like Exhibit A why I just can't do too much Facebook these days. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of stuff.
It's hilarious. Like,
it
I'm
is.
just like, I'm like,
I
did we
do
do this
remember
in 2015 already?
It is. It's kind of weird though, isn't it? You know, like we're all nerds, right? Nope. Over here, some
way wider, way
goose-stepping nerds over here.
But go ahead, Corin. Sorry, I interrupted you.
What was I saying? I think looking back, I definitely know the show has faults. It's definitely not perfect. There's things they definitely could have tightened up on and made better. I will say WandaVision blew it out of the water, unfortunately. WandaVision is just that much of a different kind and special show compared to this, which is kind of standard Captain America espionage world issue.
Yeah. WandaVision was something new.
Right.
This felt like Civil War epilogue part C or something, you know, like it felt like it looked like the brothers, I can never remember their names, that did Winter Soldier and Civil War and the last two Avengers movies.
Yes, the Russo brothers.
Yeah, it looked like the Russo brothers directed it. I mean, like the first episode in particular, it really smashed, and it was cool. I mean, there was a lot of great moments, but it felt I think like a lot of great moments, like a music video of Sam and Bucky, you know.
I mean, they didn't really do anything new, I guess is the thing. It's kind of the
That's
same
right.
old thing. And it wasn't bad, but it's kind of what we expected. Where with WandaVision, we didn't know what the hell to expect out of that show.
Yeah.
Not that it's a bad thing as well. It's solid. It's still solid. I'm looking forward to Loki.
It had pacing issues, I think.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
The Falcon, or yeah. I also felt like they went out of their way to kind of like include a few beats, like Isaiah. I forget his last name all the time. The first super soldier,
Isaiah Battle. Or Bradley?
Isaiah Bradley. Yeah, Isaiah Bradley. And they included him, but it didn't feel, I don't know, it didn't feel like enough somehow. Like, I guess the fact they introduced his grandson, maybe that sets him up for young
Patriot
Avengers.
Yeah, that's what I think.
That would be cool. Yeah, I don't know, just a lot of, like, they touched on, you know, I wanted to hear a lot more about Sharon Carter, especially once, you know, what was revealed about her was revealed. And I don't know, I think Zemo didn't really get enough screen time. Like,
I mean,
I
think he got enough screen time, but I also think he was a breakout character of the series too.
Yeah, he definitely showed up.
How you going to make Baron Zemo likable?
Yeah, he showed up.
Well, at least he's not a Nazi.
Sure. I mean, he's got an interesting. Yeah, that's right. He's got an interesting kind of like pathos to him, right? Like, no super soldiers.
Yeah, it's like what kind of world do we live in where we hated Captain America but like Baron Zemo? And I mean, like, you know,
you mean John Walker,
U.S. agent? Yeah.
That guy, though, in all fairness, is extremely unlikable. that actor just like somehow like he just looks like smug.
Yeah, he did a great job of being unlikable. And the poor guy like was getting like death threats and shit. You're just like, oh my god, people.
What,
Stop
real
it.
like?
Yeah, like the actor.
Jesus.
Like, yeah, like people are so dumb. Like,
People
stop it.
People do seem to get awfully confused, don't they? Yeah. Well,
yeah, like it was like the sort of the same thing with like, was it the guy that the kid that played Joffrey in Game of Thrones?
Oh yeah, that's
like
right.
he had to quit. Like he had to quit acting for a while because everyone would hated him so much.
It's funny because it says so much about your acting ability.
Right, exactly.
And yet it's like you're so good that you're gonna have to hang it up.
Yep, you're gonna have to. Everyone's going to hate you.
Yeah. I guess that's as Robert Downey Jr. said in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah. My pick will go along with the on the more ridiculous route of Jojo's and M.O.D.O.K. I'm gonna go with Way of the House Husband.
Oh Lord.
On Netflix.
It seems like it's got to be from the same people who brought you the Backstreet Girls.
So the way of the house husband is an anime about a former Yakuza assassin that is now a house husband to like an architect woman. And like the episodes are it's really quick. Like the episodes are only like 10-15 minutes long, and they're just ridiculous and fun. The animation is not good. But like once you get past like that, like kind of overly, it's almost like motion comic-y at certain points. But like it's ridiculous and fun, and I recommend it. If you're just like looking for something silly, like a silly anime to watch, and there's not that many episodes, it's fun. I recommend it.
Yeah, I too tried to learn the way of the house husband a bit, and just like the intensity with which the central character throws himself into his duties.
Yeah. yeah. Then like when he's like
pretty real.
Yeah, he's like going to like when he's going to like yoga class with all like the other housewives. He's like naming like the different poses, and it's just like after like torture things.
Isn't there like there's like a food truck one or something, right? Like
yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, and then at the same time, like he's like just going to the grocery store, and like he's having to deal with cops and the other like rival Yakuza that still think he's Yakuza.
Right.
It's so ridiculous, and I kind of want to read the manga just because it just seems ridiculous. And sometimes you just need that kind of ridiculous in your life.
Yes. Is it me?
So
Or one?
it's me again. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Star Wars: The Bad Batch.
Oh, how aptly named.
Yeah. Or as I say, Teenage Mutant Ninja Clone Wars. Because the Bad Batch they just have like...
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, they're like Ninja Turtles, sort of.
Oh, so you don't know anything about this then, Bobby?
No, I've seen it. It sucks.
What?
You're crazy.
You guys like it?
I love it. So,
Oh,
as a fan, I'm talking about Bad Batch, not Star Wars Resistance. There's a difference. I don't know if you're talking about Resistance, but I didn't like that one at all. You didn't like Bad Batch?
I'm talking about Bad Batch.
All right, well, let me get into it then real quick. Basically, it's a continuation of the Clone Wars, except it definitely takes place after the Clone Wars, after Episode 3. But the Bad Batch are a group of clones that had some genetic anomalies, and they were kind of experimented on to help them express these mutations. So there's one that's super strong. There's one that's a sniper, excellent sniper. One has enhanced senses that can hunt, and one that's like a computer tech genius. So they all have little different abilities, but I like it that they're slotting it into the Star Wars universe and bringing in other characters from different things. You know, they're world building again, which I thought was really fun and excellent. But this little ragtag crew, I mean, it's got a little bit of Firefly in it. It's got some heart. I've been enjoying it.
Yeah, and I like. I sort of made like what I was hinting at was it was like they kind of have allegories or like characteristics of like the different
Turtles.
of the Ninja Turtles, and so I'm just like, okay, like I am for this.
Oh, you're right.
Well, also in some ways, the Ninja Turtles are like from the distance they all look the same, like, except for up close they've got different colored headbands.
No, these guys are all shaped different, but yeah, you got the fun one. You got
I
the
know.
leader. You got the genius. You're right. I never caught that, Viet. Good observation.
Yeah,
They're
like
still all clones
and
for
yeah,
they are.
And Wrecker is my favorite.
I'm worried about him, man. I'm gonna be honest. I'm worried about him.
The gentle giant.
Yeah, he's getting these really terrible
he's-
headaches, which might be his inhibitor chip
He's
starting
gonna
to
catch
act
one.
up. So I'm a little worried. Hopefully, he'll make it out of the series alive, but it's fun.
I guess I'm not gonna like totally drag it through the mud, but maybe just to say my piece on it is that I feel like I don't know, we've been like ushered into this new era of Star Wars, and like the Mandalorian and whatnot has just set a new standard, right? And then we got, after the end of Mandalorian, when we got the news that this was coming, and there's like I don't know when it's coming, but there's going to be a series about like Rogue Squadron, I think, right? And I don't even know if that's a cartoon or a show or what. All these like big giant new projects that are up and coming. The like really old Republic stuff that's happening.
High Republic.
High Republic, yeah. I feel like this felt to me like spinning its wheels with the Clone Wars show, which was pretty good, but this is like missing everything that made the Clone Wars interesting. Like I'm not interested in following these characters, and as far as world building with Star Wars, I don't know. Like they're not really doing it. It's not showcasing the worlds in the right way. It's just sort of name drop. It's like checklist marking.
Well, we're still only like 4 or 5 issues into it, so it is at the very heart and beginning of it all. I mean, most recently we had what's her name, Fennec, the bounty hunter that we see in the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
She's in the last episode that just happened. So
yeah,
it's building. So you watched the whole Clone Wars?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say give it time, but I'm enjoying it.
I like the Clone Wars, and I will actually admit I probably have missed some couple chunks of the Clone Wars, but I like that show.
Did you watch the episode that introduced the Bad Batch?
Yes, and
what do you think of that episode?
The one where they like go get Echo out of the like he's like strapped up to the wall and stuff, like that episode's really good, but mostly because it's like about Yoda fighting the Emperor, like you know what I mean? Like that's I don't know, it feels like it's time to move on from this content, like they're kind of lingering, like malingering is the word I would use. Like they're gonna try to create some like new occurrences that then have to be explained, like how, you know what I mean? Like when they do too much of this stuff, like splash around in between established events, it just always leads to like weird retconning nonsense. I feel like there's just kind of no need for this. I'd rather they put their time and energy into something.
I don't know if I agree with that. Like, I loved Rogue One. That movie was fantastic, and it helped bridge gaps and explain some things.
I really liked that movie as well.
And
but
they're doing another series with the guy from that show. I forgot his name, but he has his own show coming too in that time period before Rogue One. So I agree, Bobby. They can screw it up if they really go too far and try to shoehorn too many things. But so far, I think they've been balancing it pretty well with the shows that they've done. Even Rebels, I really love that show as well.
Rebels was great. Rebels was great.
So I'm hoping it's up to that standard.
And I guess it is early. I'll certainly grant you that. I was just a little I'm probably also just like kind of voicing my ho-hum huffiness about the fact that this is sort of like a ages 7 and up show, and that's not what I was hoping for. You know what I mean? Like,
I think so was Rebels. I mean,
it was, but I don't know. Then this is 4 and up. I mean, one of the main characters is a kid, like a little child. Like, it's like these clone troopers are carrying. You know what I mean? That's the type of stuff that's.
No,
I don't know.
She's our
Let's
POV
just make let's just make a Lego video game and call it a day.
They already do those, and I don't like those, so
Yeah.
I can agree with you on that.
Omega is the April O'Neil. I don't know. As a casual Star Wars fan, I love it. So maybe that's
it's interesting that you guys really, really like it. It's not what I thought you guys were going to say. So,
or maybe just because maybe I've been missing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
So much.
it's not that much like the Ninja Turtles. I guess. Oh, I guess because the Echo is kind of like Donatello, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, you got the smart guy being your Donatello. You got your sniper dude being like your Raphael. You got your leader being Leonardo the Tracker dude. Wrecker is sort of just like a Mikey. He's a Mikey type, Michelangelo type, like archetype.
Wait, I thought the sniper was. Didn't we lose the sniper? Didn't he turn out to be a bad guy?
Well, his chip. They
yeah.
messed with his chip to take control.
Yeah, but he's he's the cool but rude guy.
Wait, but he's not still in with them though, right? He stayed.
Yeah, he's with the Empire right now until hopefully they'll fix his chip and get him back. But yeah, he's with the Empire right now. They've messed with his chip even more, so he's for the Empire.
I cannot remember the name of the clone world.
Geonosis.
Nope, that's not right. Geonosis is where the bug, where they had the fight to free Anakin and Padme. That's Geonosis. The clone world is I don't know. Fuck.
Well, that's what Google's for. Camino. No.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yep, that's right. Camino.
Can you guys hear scraping noises, by the way? Is this bothering you? Scraping noises.
No. Tell Luke we said what's up.
Is that the inside of your brain?
No, I'm scraping paint off of my pallets right now while we're talking.
Nah, you're good.
I guess Bounty Hunter Book 2 can't come fast enough.
What?
Give me some Boba Fett, baby.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, if you're coming into Bad Batch expecting Mandalorian, then yeah, you're gonna be disappointed.
I obviously, but I guess I maybe I drank a little too much of the Kool-Aid on this idea that between Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, I don't know, they were somehow gonna reimagine everything in a way that was, just really hit every note that I wanted to see hit. You're right. It's tough. When you get a show like Mandalorian, because to raise expectations that high is obviously gonna leave people disappointed somewhere down the line.
Yeah.
But I think, I expect to be pretty stoked about most of the things that we see coming from the Star Wars arena. Yeah, Star Wars corner. I was going to say the Star Wars corner of the universe, but the Star Wars universe of my corner of universe. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, it's like at least for me, I just it just kind of picks up after that last season of Clone Wars for me, and so that's why I was just able to take it as is.
You guys both pretty big fans of that Clone Wars show, right?
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, especially that last season when I think with me Star Wars is all about the Jedi and the Sith. That's like my bread and butter. So when Ahsoka got to throw down with Maul, and then that whole ending with that was my bread and butter. So more than the Mandalorian stuff, I'm really looking forward to her story, as well as them figuring out a way to pick up on the end of Rebels and bring back Grand Admiral Thrawn. That's the stuff that I'm really looking forward to.
All right, can I break it down for you what I'm hearing?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you guys have heard some of this as well. You may recall in episode 2 that a young Boba watches his father get killed by Mace Windu, right? And I guess really, if you're thinking back on it, that was pretty gruesome, right? Like there's that fade out shot where he's holding the helmet that ostensibly his dad's head is inside there. And so I guess the idea is that somehow Mace Windu, they're gonna make a case for him still being alive. That might come out in the Obi-Wan show that's coming soon, which I'm pretty stoked for. And so that's gonna bring they're gonna bring
Boba Fett
bring that storyline full circle where Boba gets to face Mace Windu. That to me, I can't think of anything that I want to see more in the Star Wars universe. I mean, I do think Ahsoka has earned her place, but to me that was I enjoyed Clone Wars, but a little bit more from a distance, I think, than you guys did. I liked it for, like you just said, Corwin. I liked the Jedi and the Sith aspects of it. I liked some of the episodes where they kind of go deeper into the mythology. I really enjoyed some of those episodes. I felt kind of at odds with. I felt like it's really I kind of have a love-hate relationship with how the Force is portrayed, especially in the later content. I feel like they kind of really try to bring in a little too much stuff. But some of it's really cool. I really liked how they were able to work that in Rebels. I thought it was a really good balance in Rebels, having Kanan and the kid, especially when Kanan lost his eyes. That made him a pretty compelling character.
Did you even catch the fact that? Well, did you even see the Bad Batch episode where Kanan was there and you saw his master get killed and how he had to escape? Was that the first episode? Kanan was in Bad Batch, though. He did show up.
Actually, I must have not seen that. Are you? Kanan was?
Yeah. As a Padawan, and after Order 66, you see what happened to his master and how he got away.
Oh, that must have been the first episode, huh?
I don't remember which one it was exactly.
Well, because when Order 66 happens in the first episode.
Oh, well then, there it is.
Oh, I didn't know that was Kanan.
Yeah, maybe I saw it, but I didn't realize. Yeah.
Remember, he changed his name. I don't even remember what his original name is.
Oh, is he the kid that got away that they didn't?
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah, I totally didn't get that.
That was him.
That's interesting. Who was his master? His master was
the chick. I don't even remember her name, but she died. You saw her get killed.
Yep.
I thought Kanan's master was like a rhinoceros or something. One of those big beasts from Rebels. I don't know. I have Viet, I heard you say that you have a little bit more of a casual relationship with Star Wars. I have if there's a religious order that I subscribe to, it's Jedi. Closely related. It's most closely related to Star Wars. So sometimes I admit that my sort of take on stuff can get a little intense, but
yeah, I mean,
in the best possible way.
Yeah, you're allowed to have your opinions. It's okay. It's okay to not like things. It's okay Just don't be a dick about it. It's
No.
okay.
And I
It's not like things.
Just don't be a dick about it, bitch.
Gonna continue watching it. That's the crazy. I definitely want to like it.
I got you, man.
Yeah. Just hoping for. And if I was not trying to just put a hot take on the on tape, then I would probably be able to calmly know that there's going to be ups and downs. The show's probably going to have some points that I really do enjoy, and then some parts that are less so for me. That's cool. It's Star Wars. It's nice to have new Star Wars. That's all. In the long run.
In the end, yeah. Whose turn is it? Did you do Bad Batch?
Yeah, just one.
Are we gonna go one more round? Is that?
Yeah, go ahead.
What we're doing? Let's see. I guess the last thing I watched is I watched the final or the last most recent episodes of Lucifer.
Oh wow.
Lord.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
show.
and if you follow the show, like it went all over the place, and it was great.
Oh, you're gonna cry.
I think we talked a little bit about. I forgot that you guys kind of co-signed to this because I only saw I think the first season of Lucifer, and I kind of liked it, but I wasn't totally committed. But you guys are telling me that I'm missing out, huh?
Oh, it gets so much better as it goes.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
Like I said, it is a procedural, right? So there's always like a monster of the day sort of aspect to it, but they're
15 seasons of Supernatural.
Yeah, and they're always building, and where they're building to, just it pays off in the end, in my opinion.
I think the only warning I give people is that Lucifer is essentially a big kid, and he has to learn the ways of human beings and emotions. So as it goes, he certainly matures as the series goes, but at the very beginning of it, he's just very impulsive, excessive person.
Yeah.
He just goes with his whims and drives himself
Hedonistic.
to some degrees, which makes him fun as well. But by the time you get to know all the supporting characters and everything, you come down to this last season, man. Oh, you're gonna be in tears with some of it. You can't help it. It's just,
you kind of said it, Viet. If as long as it's always building, then I can be game,
Yeah. Like I said, it really builds and it pays off at the end. And I have where it ends on this season is just like, wow, okay.
let's get to it.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. And I'm gonna go ahead and say that it is hard to take Dennis Haysbert seriously as God, because he's the Allstate guy, and I'm just waiting for him to talk about insurance in the show.
What's funny is I still, even through the Allstate commercials, I just always think of him as the president from 24.
Yeah, I never watched 24.
I didn't either.
Yeah,
I didn't either. I never watched it, but it's he's such a commanding presence in the media then that the Allstate thing didn't stick for me.
Yeah, I was watching it and Lisa was in the background, just kind of hearing him, and then she would just go you're in good hands. She would just say I was just is Lucifer gonna get accident forgiveness?
It does make you wonder sometimes, right? How
his
they
voice
can
is so
when people just get sort of slotted in that way. It's what do they expect? You can't then ask them to do these other iconic roles, right? Because it just begs the kind of the memes, if you will, right? Everybody.
Or like, I think he was in Was he in Capital One?
Yes, I think
Commercials
he was.
too. Yeah, so we're just like, what's in your wallet?
Yes.
Jeez, he's that one too. Damn.
Yeah, like what is the girl the girl in the AT&T commercial? She's gonna be Squirrel Girl.
Is that still going through?
Kidding.
I think so. Or I mean, or I think yeah. Or did she do the voice of her? Is that what it was?
I thought that show got nixed.
It probably
She's
was.
very much from Eastern Bloc of. She's very much have accent of Russian state in real life. True story.
Yeah, I thought that show got nixed, but I could be wrong.
But yeah, just like you just it was hard to take him seriously as God. But and then all I can think about while watching Lucifer, just like, ooh, like evangelicals are so mad at the show.
Seriously though, that show has some great comedy. Great comedy. There are times where I just bust out laughing with some of the things that they do.
That's cool. I'm gonna get on that.
Highly recommended.
You guys watch any of the second volume of Love, Death, and Robots?
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Yeah, and maybe not ever.
Yeah,
really?
It's not as good,
dude. It's such a disappointment. There's just nothing there's just nothing to it. It's there's no memorable moments. Honestly, it's like, and it's also like 15 minutes long, the whole thing. So,
well, I mean, that's like those were just like anthologies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the first volume was like,
yeah,
had several like I don't know, definite classics like that you could revisit a number of times. Actually, you know what? There's one piece. Michael B. Jordan has something, and it's not bad. He saves it. You know what I mean? It's just I don't know. Like the first one was, maybe it's one of those things where it was so again, like so different and new, you know. They kind of couldn't get that same thing, you know. Kind of can't catch lightning in the bottle twice, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. Can this be my real one?
Yeah, go ahead.
I watched Dolemite Is My Name.
Oh, that's on my list too to watch. I haven't watched it.
You want to know what? I really enjoyed it.
Didn't he get nominated for some stuff for that show? Or am I maybe not.
Yep, Golden Globe Award.
Oh, he won.
Best sound production.
Oh.
No, it says no. I'm just kidding. It just says, I'm looking at the cover right now. It says Golden Globe Award nominee.
Okay.
Yeah, it. You know, like I don't know. Eddie Murphy's probably kind of gone far afield in the last Disney 15 years or so. You know, paging Ice Cube, but this was good. Like Wesley Snipes shows up, and like shows up.
Wait, you went out. Wesley Snipes shows up, and then who?
I just said he shows up. He really shows up.
Oh, okay.
Who else? Everybody who is featured kind of kills it. And it's one of those, like, we don't do things like regular Hollywood. We got fat girls that are naked and, you know, like fat guys who can't actually do karate being videotaped doing karate. I'd never seen the real Dolemite, but it doesn't make me want to, but this was super fun. Definitely a good time.
All right.
Yeah. not for something different.
Yeah. All right, Cohen.
Let me see. I came in here wondering if I was going to have enough stuff to talk about, and now it seems like I have too much. All right, let's stay on the Hulu train. I watched Boss Level. It is a movie starring Frank Grillo.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson is in it.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Boss Level.
Boss Level. Okay.
Boss Level. So Frank Grillo is this Marine kind of dude who
Plays himself.
who's recently separated from his wife and kid. His kid doesn't even know that he's his dad. It's like he thinks it's just his mom's friend. But he comes back, he comes home, and he gets stuck in a loop, literal time loop, almost like Groundhog's Day. And these people are just killing him over and over. So he has to solve the mystery of why he's stuck in this loop. Tries to reconcile with his wife, tries to get to know his kid, and figure out how to stop this loop. But the action on it is where it really shines. I don't even know. I think one of the John Wick people may be one of the people on this movie because the action
Choreography is out of control. Yeah.
Dude, Bobby, the sword fight when he finally gets the upper hand on that girl and how he kills her.
Yeah.
It is just...
I mean, the constantly kind of throughout, you just keep going like, oh my God, like...
Yes.
It's pretty nonstop. And it's like you get it right away what they're gonna do, and you're almost thinking in the beginning like, how is this gonna carry through the whole movie?
And they switch it up
good.
on you. They switch it up on you on the end too. It doesn't end the way you think it's gonna end.
Yep.
Or the story doesn't go the way you think it's gonna go. They switch it up and make it entertaining. I mean, yes, it's a lot of mindless fun. There is some crazy science fiction stuff, but overall, I really enjoyed it, and I was surprised by it. I didn't expect it to have the kind of heart that it's had, but dude, that sword fighting when he finally beats that girl and how he does it, that is just some excellent choreography.
I gotta say, like, the fact that they could get my brain back from just seeing Crossbones when I see him, like, says a lot, because to like turn him into a good guy again, even though he kind of is like a hard-boiled sort of anti-hero, I guess. But really, in the end, he's you have empathy for him. He's a sympathetic character, and he's basically a good guy. He's trying to do the right thing. But for the longest time, I'd see that guy and just be like, that person's bad. I had that disease, like Via was talking about, where people watch Marvel movies and then
hate the character,
hate mail.
Yeah.
Of course, I didn't ever do that, but
because you're
a little smarter.
Yeah,
or just lazy, maybe.
I was gonna say you were a sensible person, but never mind.
That was funny.
All right. I guess you want to just do a quick lightning round and call it?
Oh yeah. I don't even know if I'm gonna have to say that.
I got a good end one too.
Go ahead.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Cool. I saw a series on Netflix, and I didn't know that they could do so much with Sherlock Holmes, but it was pretty good. It's not great, but it's called The Irregulars, and it's kind of Harry Potter meets... well, it's kind of like a Harry Potter meets Sherlock Holmes thing. It's about Sherlock Holmes's kids, or like kids that are street kids that Sherlock Holmes has a connection with, and there's some supernatural elements to it that might take something away from it for some people. It's not like over the top, so I kind of enjoyed it. It's just like I don't know, it's just fun, a fun romp. like Corwin, I can see your kids like probably really liking it if they do like Harry Potter. I don't know, but I just have found that I do like Sherlock Holmes stories a lot. So I kind of like started it thinking I would probably change it quick, and I watched the whole thing. So good stuff.
Oh crap. Episode. Okay. Did I talk about the Nevers last episode?
Yes.
We talked about it.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Victorian X-Men.
yeah, it's basically they're both set in around the same kind of Victorian age, and if I had to choose one or the other, the Nevers, even though I didn't finish Irregulars, Nevers so far has been above that, and actually they did.
Oh, you've been watching Irregulars?
I started it, but when it came to between watching that and the Nevers, I had to go with the Nevers.
Yeah.
But with the Irregulars, I know it's not getting renewed for a second season, sadly. So I don't know how it ended, but I know Netflix canceled it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it does. It felt like it ended.
Okay, good. So I won't
Yeah.
mind finishing it. What I could talk about really quick, The Devil Below. It is a C movie that is a mix between, I'd say, Critters and the Descent. I would put it between those two things. So you got these college kids who are doing some kind of research stuff with some underground, I want to say unknown creatures, but like, let me see if I can remember exactly how it goes. There's something about a specific area where something is irregular with underground readings or something, and they go to explore it, and of course they get kind of chased off by these people who you come to find out were trying to keep them out from freeing these things that are underground. But it's a kind of a horror survival story, very BC, but the effects are pretty solid, and the story was really interesting. So I would say
when
check
those
it out.
things work, they work, right? Like,
Exactly. But from the title of it and from the cover of it, you wouldn't think there's much to it, but it was good. The kids enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It's
Was Critters the one that where they come out of the toilet?
No, that's Ghoulies.
Or is that the Ghoulies?
That's the Ghoulies.
Okay, I'm thinking.
Critters is like they're aliens.
They're little fur balls with eyes,
Gotcha.
and faces, and teeth,
Yeah.
basically.
Okay.
But it's similar to that.
Gotcha. I have kind of two. One is actually a comic book, and I'll talk about Usagi Yojimbo. I got the Saga Volume 1, and this is like all of my art friends are just like obsessed with Usagi Yojimbo, and I'm like, okay, let me finally read this. And unfortunately, the Saga Volume 1 starts at the Darkhorse launch, right? So it's kind of the Saga Volume 1 doesn't include the stuff before that. So you're kind of just thrown in the middle. But I mean, you immediately get the Ninja Turtles in there. So you're at least like, you kind of have to power through it where you just kind of like, I don't know what's going on, but and then you start figuring it out. But yeah, like I can sort of see why everybody loves it so much, as like comic artists and writers just love them some Usagi Yojimbo, and I can like his art style is really simplistic, but the storytelling is really, really good. And
who's the artist?
Stan Sakai.
I wanted to say that, but I was afraid I was confusing it with the Star Trek dude.
Yeah. No, you're thinking of George Takei.
George Takei, yeah. Stan Sakai's the first thing, but I hesitated because I wasn't sure if I was.
Yeah.
I think we all know is the most important part of television in the last week, the Friends reunion. Sure.
Sure.
I I can't remember if we talked about this last week, so I got to squeeze it in. Did we talk about that movie Shadow in the Clouds?
I did way back when.
You did.
I did. Yes. Viet, did you watch it?
Shit was bomb. Nope. Yeah. Shit was
Did you watch
bomb.
it?
I did. It was awesome.
No, Viet.
No.
Okay. I say we come back to it.
Yeah, I agree.
I say we come back to it.
I think it was in theaters, so try Amazon.
I'll let you know how to get it. I'm pretty certain it's out there.
We be having our ways.
So we'll do
totally
that.
Worth it.
Catch up on Mortal Kombat because I have it in the notes from last time. I don't know if everybody's watched it yet. And Godzilla vs. Kong. Let's see if we could all watch those before we come back.
And My Hero Academia is still great.
Oh, it is. It is.
Okay, cool.
It's no spoilers in case Bobby hasn't watched it, but
I think I'm a little behind, but
it's cool to see more spotlight on Class B.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's cool.
Okay. After the music talent show thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of like in that area.
Okay. Yeah. It's gotten past. I'm not sure how far they've gotten with the dubbed version.
2 or 3 episodes behind, I believe.
Yeah. But there's at least 5 or 6.
Yeah, I'm sure I could watch a couple episodes.
So yeah. But yeah, it's still good.
Sweet. That's good to know. Man, could probably keep going, but
yeah. Let's call it this time.
We gotta call it a night someday.
Put any ideas you may have right there in the bottom of the show notes so you can remember it for next episode.
I know, right? But if only I could think of what my ideas were.
Well, then you don't need to keep going then.
Guess not.
Anyways, thank you to our patrons for supporting the show. And if you want to be one of the cool people that get this the week of us recording, then you could also be one of those cool people and give us some money.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Yeah. And if not, that's okay too. Thank you for listening.
Peace. In the building, up in every ear hole from 80-year-olds to the children. You're here to hear about the heroes and the villains and save yourself some dollars, yen, and euros from the zeros to the millions. This is a lot of class packed into one podcast. They probably ought to have laws passed, but it's too late to stop the onslaught. Raw blast of compacted, bombastic, 5-alarm sass. They're talking AVX, way back to Secret Invasion. They're talking flying up high in the sky, down to the feet on the pavement. They're reading the pages of every single one of the summer events. So other than Venice, you want to be coming to them when you want the Avengers. They're up inside of your environment with flying iron fists, giant-sized Goliaths, and the tiniest super scientists. Try denying it, but I insist. There's other podcasts, but this is Earth's mightiest. EMP, literally MP3 TNT. Young, new, mighty, and secretly. Try denying it, but I insist. There's other podcasts, but this is Earth's mightiest. EMP, literally MP3 TNT. Young, new, mighty, and secretly. Try denying it, but I insist. There's other podcasts, but this is Earth's mightiest.